she oversaw the second autopsy of Stephen Smith in the Alex Murdaugh case, and she's kind enough to be here live tonight. Dr. DuPre, thanks for coming back. 14 years. I was just listening to Dr. Ross, fascinated when he said, if the vault is sealed, if there's no water, what if her vault isn't so well sealed? What if maybe there's some water? How does it change anything? And give me both metrics, if there were perfect conditions and if there weren't.
Well, if the vault is sealed, which we hope that it is, and the coffin or the casket is inside the vault, and there's no moisture to speak of, no water, then the body could be fairly well preserved. And we would still be able to get significant evidence from that, as was the case with Stephen Smith. On the other hand, if it does have moisture in it, or if water has been able to get into it, the body's going to decompose much faster, and our chances of success would be less likely.
What about the embalming process? It's also macabre to talk about this, but I don't really know what they do to the body before they put that body in the casket, other than put lots of makeup on the body if there's going to be an open casket. But talk about the embalming process and how that, lends into this this factor.
Well, the embalming process is there, of course, to preserve the body for as long as possible. And typically, the embalming fluid is put into the vessels, the major vessels of the body, so that it goes to all aspects of the body. It's also put into the internal cavities, again, to preserve it. And so if that is done and done well, then it does preserve the body for a long time. I've actually exhumed a body after about 14 years, and I've had both situations. I've had one that was preserved very well, and we were able to get significant evidence out of that. On the other hand, I've had another one that was had been buried for approximately 14 years, but water had seeped in, and we were much more unsuccessful in that case.
And what does that mean, unsuccessful? Was there tissue left? I mean, I'm thinking if they want to prove she was strangled, they're going to have some kind of tissue, because, strangulation doesn't usually present itself perfectly in the bones. Maybe the hyoid bone, but not necessarily in the rest of the bones.
Right, you're exactly right. And so when I say that it was less successful, it means that the body had decomposed or deteriorated to the point where, in that one case, we were not able to get significant evidence or information. On the other hand, even after about 14 years, if it is still well preserved and there's no moisture, we may be able to look at the tissue, particularly the muscles in the neck, and see if there is any sign of hemorrhage or staining on those muscles. And that may tell us the answer.
I've only got a couple seconds left, but what about her fingernails? I keep thinking about if she was scratching away at, say, and he's not charged, but the fiance, she lives with the fiance. So would it mean anything if there's anything of the fiance under the fingernails?
Well, it would certainly be suggestive, because just living with someone, you're not likely to get the skin cells or the epithelial cells that would have the DNA on them under your fingernails. If there is tissue under the fingernails, it's much more suggestive of someone being scratched, being in a defensive posture, or something of that nature.
Wow. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.